Hi, this is Amit Porwal from icon Projects Inspace Pvt Ltd, and we are going to talk about one of our most challenging and you would say my favorite project, which is a weekend home at Vapi. The family, which is comprising of about 6 heads, it's a large family, and for them this was this weekend home which the family was going to use independently with their personal families. And so we had briefs from 6 heads of the family, which was very difficult to first digest. At the same time, we realized that their vision and their goal was to have a house which had almost everything which would entertain them, which would feel them meditated, which would make them feel relaxed, and which would make them feel happy. And also the best part about this entire house was that there was a small swimming pool, as I would say, as a lap pool, which was a part of the house, which was a challenge again to understand how do we synergize them. So the first thing as far as the space planning was concerned, and as we enter into the ground floor, what we did was we integrated the lap pool within the living room, which was a difficult decision, but at the same time, finally when we executed in this manner, the client realized that it engages them more better with this water body. It also makes the living room go much more larger than what it was, and the activity at the lap pool with the living room was something which they really enjoyed, and that's what we feel was one of the best thing that we could deliver as far as the space planning is concerned. The another aspect of this particular project was the way we bound with the design the staircase of this house, which actually is one of the main elevations as you get into the house. So we had a tight budget, so we realized that the staircase had to have a design quotient, which was largely done with the kind of railing details. At the same time, we realized that a lighting would help us in giving that staircase it's more like a facade detail, and then that's how the living room blends and embellishes in a much more better aspect. One very important element in this entire project was the way we saw the art synergizing into the project. So we kept our basic colors very muted, very simple, so that the art could speak for itself, and those are the energies which caters the house and engages them to feel much more happier and feel energized. The living room, which is a large one, gets into the kitchen area. Adjoining is the dining space, which was only about 6 to 8 seats. The reason is because they realized that is a dining space which would be only used during the breakfast, because if there are larger lunches or dinners, that would more happen towards the lap pool, which they have an arrangement which is more to do with loose furniture. The 2 guest rooms in the ground floor were small in size, but it was perfect to blend in the right type of design and the color. And if you see how it is engaging, we ensured one thing that was very important, that every bathroom, every bedroom has a different element of design. They should not look as if it is the same monotone that we try to create in general apartments or residences, because the user could be different. There could be friends, there could be families, so that every time when somebody wants to come into this space, they would love to engage into different rooms and enjoy that kind of feel and the look and feel that we have catered. On the first floor is also a very important area, which is what we call as the play zone, where actually we have kept a nice table tennis table, which gives them a very free space. This is where the family gets together for a game of table tennis, carom, chess, and it also has a stupendous height, which actually gives them much more feel of being and staying within that space. The bedrooms on the first floor were designed more to cater to the senior members of the family, so it had a little maturity in terms of its look and feel. At the same time, if you see the way we have engaged the height with its conical shape, gives the volume which is required and the luxury which is required to determine such a nice weekend home. The bathrooms again here were made specifically for more like a private spa, which had its own jacuzzi and steam rooms, which the client had demanded and asked for. On the second level, when you go, we realize that the client had a lot of young ones in their family, which is their third generation, and they all are from the age of say about say 6 months to say 7-8 years. So they wanted one entire room for the kids who would want to enjoy and splurge during the weekend getaways, that they would come to this space. And we realized that it can also house a lot of sleeping arrangements. So at one time you could see that there are about 7-8 children who can sleep in that space. We created some bunk beds, we created some nice net, a bridge, which makes them feel much more playful. And we also got some playing elements into this space with a lot of colors, and that is how the children feel confined in their own zone and they don't want anybody to enter into their den. The best part of the house comes now, and that was the home theater. A 16-seater home theater with a height of almost I would say about 20 feet in a slant was something that we had to design. This home theater could have gone wrong in the way that it did not have any acoustical properties. So we went through a consultant and we realized that we could still design it with the kind of sharp edges that the home theater has, and there is no sound refraction, and that's exactly what we catered to. And we delivered one of the best home theaters, which has been highly appreciated by the fraternity as well as the family itself. All in all, the Vapi home is a place to be. Go and check out. Thank you.